Ahoy crew, and welcome back. Tonight I have a special surprise for you. We're going to be making dinner together. Specifically, we're going to be making quiche. I want to show you how I make quiche, something that I make often in my kitchen for my family. Really, it can kind of take on any combination or any flavor type that you'd like or prefer. Kind of pick a combination of things that you feel go really well with eggs and throw it all together, stick it in the oven for a little over an hour, and you have yourself a wonderfully hearty dinner for your friends, for your family, for leftovers, and I can tell you it's very easy to put together. So if you want to see how I make my quiche, come along and let's do it together. All right, let's get this started. For this quiche, we're going to keep things simple with eggs, bacon, ham, cheese, heavy cream, and a refrigerated pie crust. I'm actually starting with 1 pound of bacon, even though we only need 1/2 pound for this recipe. I'm going to save the other half for a recipe later. I air fry mine at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until it's nicely cooked, and then I set it aside to cool. You can also bake your bacon in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, or you can cook it however you normally prefer. And while that cools, I'm unrolling 1 refrigerated pie crust. Store-bought works perfectly here and makes this a really easy meal to put together. For our filling, crack 8 eggs into a large bowl and give those a good whisk. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream, along with some salt and pepper to taste, and you're going to whisk everything together again. Now I'm going to take 1/2 pound of sliced ham and chop it into smaller pieces so we get plenty of that ham throughout the entire quiche. And we're going to add that right into our egg mixture. For the cheese, we need 1 cup total. For this recipe, I'm going to use 1/2 cup of mozzarella and 1/2 cup of Mexican cheese blend. But this is definitely somewhere where you can change things up and use the cheese that you already have or the flavors that you prefer. And add the cheese to the eggs and ham and give everything a good mix until all those ingredients are nicely combined and coated in our egg mixture. And that's really all there is to our filling, other than adding the bacon once it's cooled. Now I'll take that refrigerated pie crust and I'll shape it into a 9-inch pie dish, gently pressing the dough along the bottom and the sides of the dish, working your way around until it's nicely fit. And don't worry about making this absolutely perfect, because it's supposed to be an easy recipe, and once all that filling goes in, nobody's going to be worried about whether every edge of the crust looks exactly the same. Our bacon has had plenty of time to cool now, so I'm going to chop 1/2 pound into smaller pieces, and I'm going to add that bacon directly into our egg, ham, and cheese mixture and give everything a final stir. And then we'll be ready to fill that crust. Once that's ready, pour the entire mixture into our prepared pie crust and spread everything out so the ham, the bacon, and the cheese are all evenly distributed. And I'm going to add a little extra cheese over the top because a little bit more cheese here isn't going to certainly hurt anything. Then make sure you have a preheated 350-degree oven ready, because we're going to put this in there for about 1 hour until the eggs are set and the top is beautifully golden. Once it comes out, you should see that the cheese is toasted beautifully across the top and the filling is set and our crust is nicely baked around the edges. I'm cutting this into 8 slices, which makes this a really easy option for breakfast, brunch, lunch, or even dinner. And now we're going to get it onto a plate and see how we did. You can see that slice. You can see all the different layers of egg, ham, bacon, melted cheese throughout. And that's one of the things I really love about making quiche, is once you have a good basic egg mixture, there are so many different combinations you can make depending on what you have in the refrigerator. All right, now for the best part, we're going to give it a try. I can tell you this came out great. It's such an easy meal to make, and you can change the meats, cheese, and fillings to make it completely your own. I hope you try to give this one a good try, and let me know in the comments what you would put in your perfect quiche. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like and follow and come cook with me. And I'll see you in the kitchen. Thanks for stopping by.